help desk software, payment software, email marketing tools, CMS and blogging tools, SEO tools, deal management tracking, pipeline tracking. You don't need more tools to get more out of your business. You just need HubSpot. Their all-on-one customer platform is a dream come true for every member of your team, with best-in-class campaigns and workflows to generate more leads for marketing, category-leading pipeline management to help sales close more deals, powerful AI chatbots, and a knowledge base to help service teams scale, and it's built to deliver results and revenue faster to help your business grow. So dump the disconnected tools and the chaos that comes with them. Discover what HubSpot's all-on-one platform can do to streamline your business. Visit HubSpot.com to grow better today. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to July 1st. I'm John Weigell here with Juliet, Bennett, and this is the Hustle Daily Show. The terms to indicate what reality we're in are becoming increasingly complicated. AR, VR, and MR dominate the digital vernacular nowadays, but what exactly are each of them referring to? Today we're discussing each of these reality-bending mediums, how to distinguish them, and if they're all being used very differently. So let's get into it. Okay, so today we're kicking off an explainer series with a discussion on extended reality. Yes, that's the VR, AR, and MR terms you've heard thrown around everywhere lately. We all kind of have an idea of what they each mean, but today we're diving into specifics about how they each differ and how you might actually use each one. Juliet, first talk to me about what these three acronyms actually mean.
All right, so extended reality is our big umbrella term, and we've got these three terms under them. First one, the one you're most likely familiar with is virtual reality. Virtual reality is what you're going to get when you put on a headset like the Meta Quest, for example, and you are in a 100% virtual world. So everything that you are seeing, you're completely immersed in a 3D digital environment. So you're probably sitting in a chair. You're probably not walking around. You're definitely not driving your Tesla like some people tried to do with the Vision Pro. You are seeing a digital environment, you're hearing a digital environment, you're not doing anything with the real world.
Right.
Ideally, you are staying put so you are not running into a real wall.
Right.
That's VR. It's all in the headset.
Right. This is like full, complete digital immersion. You're in the dreamatorium and you're just doing stuff in there.
Exactly.
Okay.
Augmented reality is a little different because you are in the real world. You can see the real world. You have a device that is superimposing digital content on top of the real world. That device could be a headset. The Magic Leap is an augmented reality headset, or it could be your phone or your tablet. The one that I think people are probably the most familiar with, whether they want to be or not, is Pokemon Go.
Yes.
Such a sensation, such a phenomenon. I feel like I couldn't go to any park without watching people holding their phones out.
Yep.
And then in their camera, they would see a little Pikachu or whatever. That's augmented reality. You're engaging in the real world, but you've got like this digital overlay. Some other things we're probably familiar with are TikTok, Snapchat filters.
Right.
Or like those cool apps where you're stargazing and you hold your phone up to the night sky and it's like, look, there's Orion Spell right there.
Yes. And there's like, there's like a little rocket body like flying through the air. Yeah. Yes. I've known those two. And yeah, the AR wave definitely happened. I think that was around like 2016, 2015 with like Pokemon Go, but also at the same time, if you remember, Snapchat had that Snapchat filter of that kind of dancing hot dog that people loved. And that was just posted everywhere on the internet and people couldn't get enough of it. Or like AR Shrek was like another whole thing at the time. So yeah, it definitely had its time period and it's still happening. Like you can actually even find it in like board games. I played an AR board game recently where you just put your phone at the board and like little Joker characters appear. It was like a Batman themed board game. So it exists as well, but maybe not as mainstream currently as VR, it seems like.
Now, mixed reality, this is probably the weirdest one because you're kind of merging the physical and digital worlds together. And you're probably still using a headset. So an example of this, and we talked about this before, are things like the Void or Dreamscape Immersive, where in the Void, you've got your headset on and everything you're looking at and everything that you're hearing, you feel like you're in Star Wars or Ghostbusters or whatever skin, but you are interacting with real world objects.
Right.
So for example, in The Void, there's a scene in the Star Wars game that they used to have where you would pick up a blaster. You are actually picking up a piece of plastic, but it looks like a blaster to you. And when you pull the trigger of your blaster, you're shooting little laser beams at stormtroopers. I mean, like, you're touching real world objects, but they're looking like digital objects. It's pretty cool. And there's a lot of things you can do with that at Dreamscape Immersive and some of these other mixed reality environments. Maybe you're standing on a cliff and they've got a big fan blowing air in your face. So you've got this kind of weird immersive thing going on. And those can be pretty fun.
Interesting. We mentioned Apple Vision Pro earlier, and which category would you exactly put that under? Would that be kind of like a mixed reality or an AR or a VR? Because it is kind of a combination of a lot of things in that you do see the real world, but you're also transposing screens on top of it. And you're also kind of like, I don't know, talking with your weird looking AI Zoom friend.
Yeah.
So it could be many things, right?
My understanding is that it can kind of do it all, that you have augmented reality applications, you have VR, all sorts of different immersive things that you can do. That's kind of the Apple model is like, we didn't just make a VR headset. We made an everything headset that you're going to use for education and entertainment and talking to your friends and work and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So I have yet to do the Apple Vision Pro demo. I watched someone do the Apple Vision Pro demo. And the demo that I watched was very much VR. Like, they were not really super interacting with anything in the real world. I think there were some moments where they had the pass-through screen. There was a moment where they were looking at a bison or something, and then they tried to make an immersive experience out of it by petting my head. I was like, what are you doing, bro?
That's crazy.
I was like, all right, pal. What are we doing here? But that's not intentional. So I don't think it was a purposeful mixed reality situation. But I do think the Vision Pro is probably, in terms of like a headset where you're going to get AR and VR, I think that's probably the best example that you can do right now.
Interesting. Now, in terms of all these different things, right? Your VR, your AR, your MR, and kind of everything in between, just like personally from like covering things like VR gaming and kind of AR and the Vision Pro, do you think that there will be a point where these things will all consecutively merge and we'll just kind of have the same device that does all three? Or do you still think that we have like a lot of time of them being completely separate entities and kind of staying in their own lanes?
I think we'll see a lot of VR and AR merging, and I think we're already seeing that. I think mixed reality will maybe take a little bit longer. The only real world applications I have seen for mixed reality have been gaming and entertainment sort of stuff.
Gotcha.
But there are people who are doing extended reality job training. There are applications where you can do surgery on a not real patient as you are training to eventually do surgery on a real person. And there's all sorts of job training simulations, especially jobs and trainings where like you would be interacting with a person and you want to make sure you're doing that safely first, or jobs that are inherently dangerous and you maybe don't want to send someone right in right away doing this dangerous thing. So I think we'll kind of see it move along different segments at different paces, where like the average person like you and I, we're probably going to have to go to a mall, to some sort of VR arcade. We're going to have to buy a Quest or a Vision Pro or go to the Apple store and do the Vision Pro demo. But if we're in some sort of industry where that is, a part of the job training, we'll probably be able to see that sooner.
Cool. Yeah, very exciting. All of these things are being worked on. And I'm really, really interested to see what happens next with all of these kind of living together in the next 10 years and seeing, if I can just operate my entire life from my eyes and not have to do anything with my body. So who knows? I
could see that. One application that I was kind of thinking about, I remember there used to be this video game. I don't know if you played it. It was called Heavy Rain.
Yes, I've heard of it.
Okay. I don't remember if I even liked it. I just remember there was a character that was a detective. And like when they were looking at all their files, it was like in front of them. I think they were maybe also a robot or something, like a cyborg or something. But they had like all their files in front of them and they could like move them like a touch screen. And we're already seeing stuff kind of like that. I think the biggest barrier to we're going to be in augmented reality or virtual reality all of the time really is the headset. I don't think the headset is comfortable enough to wear 8 hours a day. But I think once we get into like glasses that maybe have like, I don't know, Terminator style functionality, then we'll see a lot more of that like integrated in our daily lives.
Yeah, I agree.
I would love to see a Star Trek holodeck, but I think that's way, way off.
Yeah, probably. But, exciting nonetheless. All right, that's going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning in to the Hustle Daily Show. We're a proud part of the HubSpot Podcast Network. Our editor today is Robert Hartwig, and our executive producer is Darren Clark. We've got a lot more tech and business coverage in our newsletter. If you're not subscribed, go get yourself signed up at thehustle.co/email, and we'll see you later.